1991 All-Stars. First, the trainers, coaches, and non-starters for the National League. The trainers, first from the Atlanta Braves, Dave Pursley. From the Philadelphia Phillies, Jeff Cooper. The batting practice staff from the Cincinnati Reds, Sam Perlazzo, Jackie Moore. Stan Williams. The coaches from the Houston Astros, Art Howe. From the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jim Leyland. And now the National League non-starters. From the Chicago Cubs, outfielder George Bell. From the Cincinnati Reds, infielder Barry Larkin. Outfielder Paul O'Neill. Pitcher Tom Browning. Pitcher Rob Dibble. From the Houston Astros, pitcher Pete Harnisch. In the bullpen, catcher Craig Biggio. From the Los Angeles Dodgers, infielder Juan Samuel. Outfielder Brett Butler. First baseman Eddie Murray. Pitcher Mike Morgan. Pitcher Raymond Martinez. From the Montreal Expos, pitcher Des Martinez. From the New York Mets, third baseman Howard Johnson. Pitcher Frank Viola. From the Philadelphia Phillies, first baseman John Kruk. From the Pittsburgh Pirates, pitcher John Smiley. From the St. Louis Cardinals, outfielder Felix Jose. Pitcher Lee Smith. And now, your American League trainers, coaches, and non-starters. The trainers from the Chicago White Sox, Herm Schneider. From the Toronto Blue Jays, Tommy Craig. The batting practice staff from the Oakland Athletics, Rene Lachemann. Tommy Reynolds.
Roll, Carney.
In the bullpen, Dave Duncan. The coaches from the Minnesota Twins, Tom Kelly. From the Toronto Blue Jays, Cito Gaston. The American League non-starters. From the Boston Red Sox, pitcher Roger Clemens. Pitcher Jeff Reardon. From the California Angels, pitcher Mark Langston. Pitcher Brian Harvey. From the Chicago White Sox, infielder Ozzie Guillen. Pitcher Jack McDowell. Catcher Carlton Fisk. From the Milwaukee Brewers, infielder Paul Molitor. From the Minnesota Twins, outfielder Kirby Puckett. Pitcher Rick Aguilera. From the New York Yankees, pitcher Scott Sanderson. From the Oakland Athletics, outfielder Harold Baines. Pitcher Dennis Eckersley. From the Texas Rangers, second baseman Julio Franco. Outfielder Ruben Sierra. First baseman Rafael Palmeiro. From the Toronto Blue Jays, outfielder Joe Carter. Pitcher Jimmy Key. And now, your National League starting lineup, beginning with manager Lou Piniella. Batting first and playing center field from the San Diego Padres, Tony Gwynn. Batting second from the Chicago Cubs, playing second base, Ryne Sandberg. Playing first base and batting third from the San Francisco Giants, Will Clark. Batting fourth, the designated hitter from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Bobby Bonilla. In right field, the fifth batter from the Chicago Cubs, Andre Dawson. Batting sixth and playing left field from the Montreal Expos, Ivan Calderon. Batting seventh, playing third base from the Cincinnati Reds, Chris Sabo. Batting eighth from the San Diego Padres, catcher Benito Santiago. Batting ninth from the St. Louis Cardinals, the shortstop, Ozzie Smith. And the National League starting pitcher, Tom Glavine. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1991 National League All-Star team. And now, let's meet the 1991 American League All-Star team, beginning with manager Tony La Russa. Leading up and playing left field from the Oakland Athletics, Rickey Henderson. Batting second from the Boston Red Sox, third baseman Wade Boggs. Batting third from the Baltimore Orioles, shortstop Cal Ripken Jr. Batting fourth from the Detroit Tigers, first baseman Cecil Fielder. Batting fifth from the Kansas City Royals, the designated hitter, Danny Tartabull. Batting sixth from the Oakland Athletics, right fielder Dave Henderson.
They don't boo to Hindu.
Batting seventh from the Seattle Mariners, center fielder Ken Griffey Jr. Batting eighth from the Cleveland Indians, tonight's catcher, Sandy Alomar Jr. Batting ninth from the Toronto Blue Jays, second baseman, Roberto Alomar. Tonight's starting pitcher from the Minnesota Twins, Jack Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, your 1991 American League All-Stars.
What a thrill for them and for all of us as our CBS Sports coverage of the 62nd Major League All-Star Game will continue for kids of all ages after a word from your local station. Skydome on this night of All-Stars. We look at Rod Carew standing next to Henry Aaron. Right now it's my pleasure to send you 400 feet, that is 125 meters, to the man along with Tim McCarver who will call the game for us tonight, Jack Buck. Good evening, Jack, and I don't mean to be accusatory, but just where were you on the night of July 17th, 1941?
Believe it or not, Pat O'Brien, I was a real little kid sitting in the bleachers in the Cleveland Stadium that night doing play-by-play. My brother Earl was telling me to shut up, and we saw the Cleveland Indians, Al Smith and Jim Bagby, Ken Keltner and Lou Boudreau stop Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak that evening at 56 consecutive games. Keltner with two great plays behind third. Tim McCarver and I had the pleasure of seeing Ken Keltner up in Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago. And then Lou Boudreau made a good play on a bad hop late in the game, and poof, went the hitting streak. And I'm sure all of you good baseball fans know that that same year, 1941, Ted Williams batted .406. He is the last player in baseball history to ever hit over 400. You saw some of it at the beginning of our telecast here tonight. I had the pleasure last night of being in Washington, D.C., chatting with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio. We talked for 52 minutes. You saw some of it tonight. You'll see some more of it next Sunday afternoon on our CBS baseball game with California playing the Yankees. You like goosebumps? We've already had quite a few here this evening. We're going to get some more because the PA announcer here, Murray Eldon, is about to introduce the Splendid Splitter and the Yankee Clipper.
Ladies and gentlemen, honoring the golden anniversary of their legendary baseball accomplishments, the city of Toronto, the Blue Jays, and all of Major League Baseball salute two of the game's true immortals, Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor the two great nations in which Major League Baseball is played. Please welcome Canadian actor Michael Burgess, star of Les Miserables, as he sings the Star-Spangled Banner. Michael is accompanied by the U.S. Marine Color Guard from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
And now to sing O Canada, award-winning singer and Toronto native Alana Miles. Alana is accompanied by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Color Guard.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on
Hello again, everybody. We're at the Sky Dome. We're in Toronto. I'm Jack Buck with Tim McCarver. And Tim, these fans must be worn out already. We've already had some terrific thrills with the game yet to come.
Well, there's been excitement here in Toronto since the team expanded back in 1977. And then the Sky Dome came in a couple of years ago, the All-Star game this year. The only thing that they haven't had here in Toronto is the World Series, and they may have that this fall.
Yeah, they may. I'll tell you one thing we do have. Some nervous players. Tommy Glavine already said that he's a wreck, ready to start this game.
Tommy Glavine, one of 18 first-time All-Stars, and don't think they're all young either. Brett Butler, 11 years in the major leagues, his first All-Star game. Joe Carter, 9 years in the big leagues, his first All-Star game. Scott Sanderson will be 35 years old the latter part of this month. It's his first All-Star game. Exciting for everybody.
Tom Glavine, the left-hander, will start for the National League against Jack Morris of the Minnesota Twins and the American League. This place is bubbling here tonight. We'll have more fun, and the first pitch moments away.
Duracell batteries can even outrun the ones we made just a few years ago. Today's Duracell, you can't top the copper top.
And there's a view of some of Toronto, one of the most beautiful cities in North America. The ceremonial first pitch tonight was delivered by Ferguson Jenkins, who 7 times won 20 or more. He is Canadian-born, and he'll be the first Canadian-born to enter the Hall of Fame. That will happen on July 21st. And he still throws a pretty good arm, but not that good slider low and away like he used to throw, Tim.
Slider low and away to right-handed batters. 20 game seasons that he won, primarily with the Chicago Cubs, the Texas Rangers.
And the National League will be coming up there first at bat frequently because of the dominance of pitching, and because these hitters are facing a different pitcher almost every time. The games are low scoring. But Tim, I've seen some balls fly out of this park yesterday in the home run contest, and here in batting practice tonight.
Well, Cal Ripken Jr. yesterday hit 12 of 22 out of the ballpark. 12 of 22. Unbelievable.
The plate umpire tonight is Joe Brinkman. John McSherry of the National League is at first. Ken Kaiser of the American League at second. Jim Quick at third. Those are the American League umpires, and here are the National League umpires. McSherry, Jim Quick at third base, and Greg Bonet in right field. And while we're talking about umpires, we certainly give a kind thought to Steve Palermo, and his fellow umpires are dedicating this game to him as he recovers from a gunshot wound. That was tragic indeed. The starting pitcher tonight is from the Minnesota Twins, longtime of the Detroit Tigers, and Jack Morris is having a wonderful season with a mark of 11 and 6, and those are strange looking shoes that he's wearing, Tim McCarver.
Wearing those shoes, they're all black, for Scott Sanderson, the rookie of the Minnesota, or Scott Erickson, I beg your pardon, the rookie of the Minnesota Twins. Every time Erickson pitches, it is the day of death. He doesn't like any white showing on his socks, and Jack Morris very upset that even the white sanitary socks were showing a little bit.
So Scott is on the disabled list and can't be here, but we think of him and congratulate him on what he has done so far, and he'll be back shortly.
I'll tell you who is here backing up Jack Morris. Ricky Henderson will be the left fielder. There's Ricky. Ken Griffey Jr. from Seattle in center field. Dave Henderson in right field with the Oakland Athletics. The Boston Red Sox, one of their representatives, Wade Boggs at third. Cal Ripken Jr., the shortstop, leading the American League in hitting. Roberto Alomar at second base, one of the two brothers we interviewed earlier. Cecil Fielder, leading the American League in home runs with 21, tied with Jose Canseco. Sandy Alomar Jr. behind the plate, and Morris on the mound.
We'll see some forkballs from this pitcher. The leadoff hitter is going to be Tony Gwynn. He is leading the major leagues in hitting. He is in quest of his 5th National League batting title. 5 of them. Do we have a star in our midst? And what a wonderful person, Tim.
Leading the National League with a .358 average, and that's kind of what he hits personally, too. Leading the league.
Leading the league is correct. At third base, coaching is Sam Perlazzo, one of the lieutenants of Lou Piniella. And across the way at first, it is Jackie Moore. And Lou Piniella wants to win one. Tony La Russa, the manager of the American League, has won the last 2. And you heard Lou in the pregame talk to the players. He said, let's win one. And he got a call from the league president, Bill White, because the American League has won the last 3 All-Star games. National League still has quite an edge in the total games played. I'm wondering if Tony's going to take the first pitch, because he knows that Moore is going to try to get ahead, and he doesn't want to deal with that forkball. I wouldn't be surprised to see him swing.
That should be the policy of all the National League hitters. They've seen the forkball before, however.
First pitch, 1991 All-Star game. All-Star game number 62, and ball 1 high and away. He couldn't have swung at that one. Win 2 home runs, and he doesn't care about home runs. He takes a strike. Joe Brinkman said, that's a strike. By the way, we have a microphone on this plate umpire, so you're going to hear some of the happenings down there in the playing field. Edited, of course. 2 balls and a strike.
Tape delayed, huh?
I Yes, Tony Gwynn is a devotee of Ted Williams. He won't swing at a bad pitch. He'll take the walk if you want to give it to him. He hits it to deep short. He's going to get a base hit to start this game. That's typical of his hitting. Knock it around the park, and a leadoff single for Tony Gwynn.
It didn't look like Wade Boggs saw that ball immediately. Kind of shifted to his right foot, and that was his first lean, and then he went back to his left, and the ball was by him by the time he recovered. I don't think he saw that ball well. Let's see if Boggs picks the ball up at third base real well.
Boggs made some dazzling plays for the Red Sox in recent days.
Much improved third baseman defensively.
Here is Sandberg. Sandberg loves that open space to the right side of the infield, and don't pitch him inside. Low and away, ball one. Tim, I know you love the way Sandberg can turn on a ball.
He's one of the more deadly inside hitters in the game. 187 career home runs as a second baseman, and remember his first year with the Cubs, he was a third baseman.
Leadoff man is on, and there's a good strike from Jack Morris. Sandberg having a look at the third base coach, Sam Perlazzo. And it wouldn't be beyond Piniella to start a runner with a guy like Sandberg hitting. They play Ryan to pull just a bit. Quinn draws the throw. Jack Morris had the same thoughts, and Cecil Fielder returns the ball. Jackie Moore also in your picture. Sandberg hurt his hand about a week ago, and even the day after he was hurt, he said, I'm going to the All-Star game. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hit by Tony Gwynn. Sandberg is only 2 out of 20 in All-Star games and 8 strikeouts. And we all know he's a better hitter than that. Powell keeps him up there, 1 and 2. This is the last year of his contract, Tim. It'll be interesting. An option year. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this season.
I think a lot of guys on both teams can talk about the last year of their contract. Bobby Bonilla, the cleanup hitter and the designated hitter for the National League, last year of his contract. Frank Viola with the Mets, last year of his contract.
Ozzie Smith on his option year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Sandberg. And that'll be the first out of the game with Dave Henderson making the catch. 1 on, 1 out. He made Sandberg reach for that ball, and so Ryan didn't advance Tony Gwynn. And up comes now one of the sweetest swingers in the game from the San Francisco Giants, Will Clark. Notice the look on his face when Piniella was talking before the game. Let's win one. This is an intense competitor. They all are. There's Henry Aaron, relaxed, sitting, laughing with Lou Piniella. Henry Aaron, the honorary captain of the National League team. Gwynn is not a big threat to steal a base, but he has stolen 6 this year.
You saw that graphic, the 4th start for Will Clark. This is the 21st start for Giant first baseman.
Ball 1 high outside.
Keep in mind, this is the 62nd All-Star game, so starting for the National League in about 1/3 of the games, actually a little more than 1/3 of the games, have been Giant first basemen. McCovey, Cepeda, Johnny Mize, Whitey Lockman.
And of course, Bill White used to play for them. And the count is now 1 and 1.
So the one thing that the New York Giants and the San Francisco Giants have not been short of, first baseman. Johnny Mize 5 times, Cepeda, McCovey, now Clark 4 times. Bill Terry, the first 3 All-Star games, 33, 4, and 5. And then Whitey Lockman.
Well, what are you going to do with the bat, Will Clark? 1 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike here in the opening inning. A strong performer. He has half a dozen complete games under his belt this season.
Gwynn could be running. The one thing you mentioned it about Ryan Sandberg when diving back. Ryne Sandberg and Will Clark, two hitters that are guys that have good bat control and yet power.
One caught the corner, and that puts Clark in the hole, 1-2.
A lot of times powerful swingers lose a little bat control in the process, and guys with bat control don't have a lot of power. But Clark and Sandberg combine both.
There's that split finger delivery. Tim, when a runner is going and that pitcher throws a split finger, does it make it tough for the catcher to throw?
Well, it does if it's in the dirt, yeah. And particularly for a guy like Sandy Alomar, who doesn't catch many split-fingered pitchers or pitchers who throw that split-finger pitch. I mean, Jack Morris has 8 wild pitches this season. Brian Harper, one of the catchers with the Minnesota Twins, Junior Ortiz the other. So that splitter in the dirt, certainly wild pitches are up with that pitch of the 90s.
2-2. Win at first. He's running. And a base hit. Win will go on to third. First and third. Well, that's as many hits as the National League had all of last year at Wrigley Field.
An all-time low for the National League last year as they lost 2-0 on a 2-hitter. And Will Clark finds the right guy covering. He hits a low tracer to the right side. Roberto Alomar was covering on the play. Win right there, looking at the line drive and making sure it doesn't hit him. But Roberto Alomar covering on the play, and Clark fortunate that he was, because had he not been, it could have been a double play.
The ball just zipped past, and the batter is Bonilla, and ball 1 to Bobby.
One would think that Alomar would be covering with Wynn running.
But he was staying, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Bonilla wrapped himself in the head, and now wraps the ball and knocks Jack Morris down. And the National League leads 1-0 on their third hit of the inning. And let's hope Jack Morris is okay. We have had some injuries in All-Star games in the past, and we certainly don't want any here. There's not much sympathy in the National League dugout, is there? Bonilla single and an RBI, 1-0 National League.
You hope that line drive got the sole of the shoe as opposed to the foot. I mean, that ball hit with resounding authority, a little one-hopper. And on the artificial surface, of course, a little faster than on grass. Morris appears to be all right. You'll see Morris's reaction once he is hit. And he's smiling about it. I mean, he can't be hurting. Look at him. Look at Bonilla. Morris hit in that area where there's little white showing. Well, we mentioned it early, little white showing. He's wearing those black socks in honor of Scott Sanderson, and that white showing was a baseball.
Well, he's going to be all right, and that's good news. Back in 1937, we had one just like that when Earl Averill lined one off the foot of Dizzy Dean. That was the start of the downfall of Jerome Dizzy Dean.
Well, in the 1950 All-Star game, Ralph Kiner's drive in the first inning, caught by Ted Williams. He broke his elbow, played the rest of the game, but was out with the Red Sox until September 15th, and the Red Sox ended up losing that season to the Yankees by 3 games.
Well, fortunately, Jack Morris is okay, but unfortunately for him, he has to pitch to Andre Dawson, and he is talking to the catcher.
Here's that 1950 play with Ralph Kiner batting in the first inning, Comiskey Park. Ted Williams in left field made the catch. You can see him grimace with pain. He broke his elbow, played the rest of the game, and was out until September 15th.
Jack Morris is all right, except for his first inning situation. He's given up a run. Clark is at second, and Bonilla with the RBIs at first, and Andre Dawson the batter. Ball 1. There they are. Infielders at double play depth. Dawson usually gets the ball up in the air. He has that uppercut swing. 1-1. Don't see many smiles when you watch Andre Dawson as he has a bat in his hand.
Don't see many hawks smiling, do you?
Look at those eyes. He is intense. Waited for that one, had a heck of a swing and fouled it back. What a swing, 1-2.
Watch him commit with that left foot, but keep the bat back. See, the left foot commit, the bat is back, and he ended up having a good swing. You can have a good swing if your bat stays back, even though the front part of your body goes forward.
Jack Morris probably said, whoop. 1-2. And a ground ball to third. Might be a double play. They got 1 and 2. A double play, and the inning is over. Quite a pivot by Alomar at second base. 1 run on 3 hits and 1 left for the National Leaguers.
Hey, Bud, have you heard the news? Catch Huey Lewis in the news hard at Play Store. Brought to you by the King of Beers.
The 62nd All-Star Game from Toronto is brought to you by Today Chevrolet, who invite you to see why more people are winning with the heartbeat of America. Coca-Cola Classic, you can't beat the real thing. AT&T, the right choice. And by Budweiser, with that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud.
Pretty picture here in Toronto. Way down there on the pitching mound, making his first All-Star Game appearance, is the base stater from Massachusetts, Tommy Glavine. He leads the National League in earned run average, 1.98. He's 112, lost 4. He's second in earned run average only to Scott Erickson of Minnesota.
Defensively for the National League, Ivan Calderon, the left fielder. When Darryl Strawberry said he would not play, Calderon was named as the starter. Tony Gwynn in his 4 Gold Gloves in center. Andre Dawson in right field. Chris Sabo, Rookie of the Year 3 years ago at third. Ozzie Smith at shortstop. Ryan Sandberg at second. Will Clark, the first baseman. And behind the plate, Benito out Santiago.
How do you think they'd like a lineup like that in Denver or Miami in 1993?
I don't think they're going to have a lineup like that. That's an excellent point. I salivate for lineups like these.
Ricky Henderson leads it off. And a strike barks the umpire. You'll notice Tommy Glavine can't work quickly enough. He wants the ball back, and he wants to come back at him again. And that ball is going to be Will Clark territory, and he caught the ball.
Wow.
Great play. Great play. I didn't think he was going to get it.
Talk about his power, talk about his leadership, talk about everything, but he is an excellent defensive first baseman, and that was a real catch-22.
Oh, catch-22. You know, another guy was terrific at that, Bill White. You played with him, Jim.
Certainly did. Now the National League president.
Now ball 1 to Wade Boggs. Up to his old tricks, hitting .324. With a terrific lifetime batting mark. 1 ball 2 the count. And the youngster, wonder what he just finished eating.
Something sticky.
2-0 to Boggs. 1-0 National League. And 3-0. Glavine's strikeout base on balls ratio is wonderful. 108 strikeouts, only 21 walks. But he's nervous and he wants it. Another fellow who's having a wonderful season is the Minnesota manager, Tom Kelly. He's coaching at third. And what an ovation. You heard it for Cito Gaston, the head man of the Blue Jays. He's coaching at first.
I think the interesting thing about the crowd before the game, when they introduced the National League, the crowd gave ovations for National League players that had played formally in the American League, and that was really nice.
And a robust mixed greeting for George Bell when that happened. Here's Cal Ripken Jr.
That was to be expected.
Playing every day has certainly hurt the performance of Cal Ripken Jr.
Yeah. Leading the American League in hitting with a .348 average, 18 home runs, having possibly his best year ever.
There's a hit. It's the first of the night for the American League. Remember, we are going to have some sparks here this season. First and second one out. Well, who do you want up there now?
Ripken in that crouch this year. Last year he was a straight up and down hitter, but he is crouched, and that has helped him immeasurably. Smokes that ball to center field. First hit for the American League.
And there is Ripken. At first with Boggs down at second and Fielder at the plate. Cecil walks up and chased a bad ball down and in. Mr. Fielder has 21 home runs.
Slider out of the strike zone. Nice play by Santiago, the catcher.
2 on, 1 out. Fooled me once, but not twice with that same pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boggs drew a walk with 1 out, and Ripken singled him down to second. And the National League has a run which could be erased by Cecil. Balls and a strike. Lavin, as we've indicated, usually much better with his control than he is demonstrating here in the first. It's a foul right. It's one thing about Fielder. He can go the other way and hurt you, and not necessarily with a home run. He's a clever hitter.
Remarkable that only 5 years ago, Cecil Fielder and Fred McGriff of the San Diego Padres were platooning with the Toronto Blue Jays. And last year, between the two of them, they had 87 home runs, 51 for Fielder, 36 for McGriff.
Where is Fred McGriff? He should be here.
One of the real injustices of this game, I think. I mean, he was 4th in the voting, popular voting, 2nd behind Will Clark, who is the starting first baseman, but Eddie Murray was named as a replacement. Not that Eddie's not having a great year, but Fred McGriff a little better one.
And a strikeout for Glavine on a pitch 9 away, the second out of the inning. That typifies Detroit this year, home run or strikeout, and doing well, the Tigers are.
Cecil Fielder with 182 strikeouts last year, waves at the high fastball from Glavine.
And so this Toronto crowd will root for one of the enemy during the regular season, Danny Tartabull, and he's been on a tear. He's hit 20 home runs for the year, 2 on, 2 out. Hear a little chatter coming from the dugouts. National League leading 1-0 in the first. Runners at first and second, 2 out. That's a strange number Benito Santiago is wearing.
Yeah, he's worn it for the past few weeks, and the public relations people of the San Diego Padres says he's wearing it just to be different. As Tartabull goes after what would have been ball 3, a little anxious. You see that in a game like this.
Good cut at that one, 2 and 2.
0-9. It's like 2/3 of an area code.
Anything can happen in baseball these days. Benito. What a great catcher. That's going to go foul. I never saw Ted Williams wear an earring when he was playing. Or Joe D.
Times have changed. Fashions have changed, Jack.
Oh, to be different. Can he catch? Can he throw?
Best throwing arm I've ever seen, and it's remarkable when you consider two catchers who were spawned in the San Diego Padre organization starting the All-Star game this year. They would have started it last year in Chicago, but Santiago had the broken wrist.
Strike three called on the inside corner. Second strikeout for Glavine, and the National League leads it 1-0.
Our boys of summer. The legends of the game. Players like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Ty Cobb. Now presented in never-before-seen color home movies. Movies shot by fellow players and fans. Capture the glory of the golden age of baseball. When it was a game. Now playing only on HBO.
Instant replay is an officiating tool in sports. You can register your vote by calling this AT&T MultiQuest 900 service number, 1-900-436-9000. Each call will cost 95 cents. You must be 18 years or older to vote. You'll have the chance to vote on 4 different sports.
There's Cal Ripken playing shortstop for the American League, and we had a few words from his mother about Cal when he was a youngster. We'll catch up with that in a moment. Ivan Calderon takes ball 1 from Jack Morris. Second inning, 1-0 National League. Calderon got a nice hand from the crowd. He's playing in Montreal these days in a foul. Makes the count 1-1. Calderon, Sabo, and Benito Santiago in this inning. In case you just joined us, and I hope that's not the case, I hope you saw Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio introduced and caught all of the other action. 3 hits in the first inning. Wynn, Will Clark, and an RBI hit by Bobby Bonilla. Count 2-1 to Calderon. National League dugout. Juan Samuel, Felix Jose, Bonilla, Dawson. Up high, and it's 3-1. I think the most surprising stat about this batter is the fact that he's been stealing bases for the Montreal club.
Feeling about it as many as Tim Raines, the person for whom he was traded from the White Sox, would have stolen.
He has 20, and he's going to be on base. Good piece of hitting there as he waited.
If you're a hitter, you can only do what the pitcher allows you to do. If he throws the ball away, you can't try to pull it. You play Pepper with the shortstop all night long. So Calderon, with the fastball away, smokes it the other way.
Not only away, but down a little bit. And that is the 4th hit for the National Leaguers. The batter is Sabo of the world champion Cincinnati Reds. Ball 1.
First Red third baseman to start 2 straight All-Star games. Pete Rose did it back in 1976 and 78. 2 of the 3 years. Pete, of course, there you are. Pete, of course, starting the All-Star game in 5 different positions.
On a hit and run, they'll miss the runner at second and get Sabo at first, but they did advance the runner. Piniella has him on the move.
Two innings, 2 hit and run plays. The first one very successful, and this one successful in that Calderon gets to second base. Even though you sacrifice an out in the process, Morris wanted to go to second, elects to go to first.
Well, Sabo did move the runner along, and to the plate is Benito Santiago, who's driven in 39 runs for the Padres this year. He's happy to be playing this year. Broken arm a year ago. He was jammed. Strike 1. This crowd is revved up and they are having fun. And the National League has 4 base hits and a 1-0 lead, and Santiago could increase that. 1 out.
Tonight you're seeing a piece of Americana with DiMaggio and Williams, and a piece of North Americana with Toronto, the host city. A remarkable structure this is. Sky Dome opened in June of 1989 as Jimmy Key, who lost the first game in June of 1989 for the Toronto Blue Jays, the first game played in this ballpark.
So Jack Morris might not pitch the maximum 3 innings. 0-1 to Benito and way high. 1-1. If Santiago doesn't do it, the Wizard will have a shot at it. Ozzie Smith. Morris has no strikeouts. He has Santiago set up. They're keeping a wary eye on Calderon. The ball is foul, keeping it 1-2.
These are the best of times and the worst of times for Jack Morris. He's going through a very, very acrimonious divorce settlement, and yet he's back home pitching, having a terrific year for a team that's tied for first place. Best of times and the worst of times for Jack.
Santiago hits another foul, and I'm still watching Calderon down there at second base, Tim. He looks like he'll go if Alomar ignores him. First looks at Tony La Russa. He is managing the American League All-Stars for the 3rd year in a row and looking for another victory.
And if he wins this game, he'll be the first American League manager to win 3 games in a row. Casey Stengel did it 3 years in a row, but he lost the first game that they played back in 1959.
There goes a runner stealing, and he stole it as Santiago strikes out.
Jack Buck has the National League signs. Calderon, we mentioned 20 stolen bases during the year, and this is the best time to try to steal third base with 1 out. You don't try with nobody out. You don't want to make the first out at third. You don't try with 2 outs because you don't want to make the third out at third. And that's why with 1 out, it's the best time to do it, but Santiago ends up striking out for the 2nd out.
And it took a good play by Boggs to avoid an error. Ball went way high to Ozzie Smith. And you have noticed that we are using the designated hitter here this evening. Lou Piniella is familiar with that from his Yankee days. Ball 2 to Smith. What a season Ozzie is having. He is hitting .315. And people are wondering if he's going to be in St. Louis next year. He'll be somewhere. And he hits the ball foul. 2-1. Ozzie says, Tim, he wants to play shortstop until he's 40 years old.
He's the oldest shortstop in the major leagues right now, 36, so that's another 3 or 4 years. I think a team would probably go ahead and give him a 3-year contract. I mean, he's playing like he's 26, not 36. Fastball away to Smith.
Runner at third, 2 out, 2-2. Fastball away, evens the count. Calderon led off with a single. Sabo moved him along. Stole third as Santiago struck out, and it's up to Smith. 3-2.
Jack Morris and Alomar go. Fastball away again.
And out of play. You use the DH. There's no breathing room for a pitcher.
Not when your number 9 hitter hits 315.
And Tony Gwynn waits on deck.
Right. It's the second time the designated hitter has been used in All-Star play. The first time, 1989 in Anaheim. Another fastball away.
Another one out of play as Smith protects the plate. Souvenir. There's the President of the United States, George Bush, enjoying the game, and Pat O'Brien will be joining him next inning. If he can get past his security. As he lines it to Ripken, and it's still 1-0. 1 hit, 1 left.
It's happening. Some people are climbing out of their imports and getting into the 1991 Buick Regal sedan. Why? One simple, overwhelming consideration. Quality. Buick quality. It's something you might want to get into yourself. Regal from Buick. The new symbol for quality in America and beyond.
Stepping out, hanging out, for extra comfort on the move. The underwear is Fruit of the Loom. Red, white.
For the extra comfort of ribbed cotton, the extra style of a trimmer fit, more men are switching to ribbed whites, only from Fruit of the Loom.
On the street, on the town, for extra comfort on the move. The underwear is Fruit of the Loom. Red, white.
When you get thirsty, there's one thing everybody's got to have. 'Cause deep down, we all want the same thing. The cool, crisp taste, the fluids, minerals, and energy of Gatorade.
Gatorade thirst quencher for that deep down body thirst.
The Yankee Clipper, George Bush.
A busy day for the President of the United States. He was in the Rose Garden honoring Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio with a plaque.
Well, thank you
all their great accomplishments in 1941. And tonight, the President is in Toronto enjoying a little baseball game. Thank you for joining us, Mr. President. I must say that that protocol dictates that I turn to the Prime Minister first. We are in Canada. And Mr. Prime Minister...
I'm a better hitter than the President.
Is baseball becoming a North American pastime now?
Started in Montreal in '69 with the Expos. They've had a marvelous run at it, and this franchise in Toronto has developed into one of the strongest in the majors, as you can see from the crowd tonight.
Your accomplishments, among them, you have become almost the baseball president. You were a great first baseman at Yale, and you love the game. The commissioner tells me you call him and talk about the game. Your son's one of the owners of the Rangers. What is it you love so much about the game?
I just love being out here. I know the game fairly well. I like the intricacies of the game, and it's really just being at the ball game, relaxing, watching the play, trying to figure out what they're going to do. It's marvelous. I tried to explain that to the Queen of England, and I'm not sure I got through to her, but it was great. I love it. I relax here. I went to a minor league ball game the other night, Class A ball, the Frederick Keys, and had as much fun almost as seeing this All-Star.
You know, one of the great pictures I've ever seen in baseball is the one of you and Babe Ruth when he came to Yale to dedicate a manuscript there.
Well, Babe was near the end of his life then, and yes, he presented some of his papers to Yale. Library, and I was playing ball at Yale and got to meet him. It was a real thrill. Could hardly talk then. He's ridden with cancer, but everybody knew they were standing in the presence of greatness.
I always think of that quote that Babe Ruth said, I had a better year than Hoover. I guess you could say you're having a better year than Hoover, too. Huh?
I hope so. I hope so.
But I just missed It's a great sportsman, as you all know, and I just missed you in my beloved South Dakota. You caught, what, 6 trout out there?
5, I think.
Make it 6. Make it 6. How big were they?
Well, no, they were little guys.
Thank Thank you both for joining us. By the way, do you guys know somebody? How did you get these tickets up here?
I'm the guest of one of the great men here, Brian Mulroney.
Thank you. Mr. President, nice to see you. Enjoy the evening. Top that, fellas.
And you folks just saw a big swing by Ken Griffey Jr. after Dave Henderson struck out. Dave is going to go back and find out that while he was batting, Pat was talking with the president and the prime minister. But he struck out, but we caught you, Dave. You'll get him next time. That's Hindu. And Ken Griffey Jr. up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low. Now Glavine has struck out the last 3. He's getting with the program here. 1-0, National League. Second inning. We were setting up that camera shot. Pat O'Brien talked about protocol. He said to the president and prime minister, would you guys mind standing up? You guys.
What's he going to say, y'all?
High in the air to the center fielder, Gwynn. And that's the second out of the inning. American League has 1 hit and a walk and 2 out and nobody on. Gwynn is not usually a center fielder, but he can play out there.
Played 89 games there last year. There's the center fielder for you right there.
Here's Sandy Alomar Jr.
Actually, that was 1989, the last time that Tony Gwynn played 89 games in center field. So 89 and 89.
Tim, did you tell me that Sandy Alomar Sr. flew up from Puerto Rico for the action?
He's here at the game, right? He is now a traveling infield instructor with the Chicago Cub minor league system, but he's here tonight, yes.
1 ball, 1 strike to Sandy. He doesn't really have all-star stats. No home runs, 4 RBIs, hitting .241, but the fans like him, so here he is.
Rookie of the year in the American League last year.
And he got jammed, and he flies it out to Tony Gwynn. Glavine has retired 5 in a row, and after 2, National League 1-0.
This is ridiculous. I'm an athlete, not an actor. Let me out of this thing. I got rehab to do.
Oh.
Give me those shoes.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Nice shoes.
You watch too much TV, kid. Hey! Where's that music coming from? You know I don't have time for this. But I do. Hit it.
Our game.
We've played 2 innings. And they announced Jimmy Key as the new pitcher for the American League. Listen. He's having a wonderful season with a record of 10-4.
Now the Blue Jays, pardon me, Jack, the Blue Jays with 4 of the top 10 leaders in the American League, leading in earned run average. Jimmy Key, one of them. Also Brad Wells, Dave Steve, and Tom Candiotti. Blue Jays really with a tough pitching staff.
That's why they're 5.5 ahead of Boston. Here's Tony Gwynn. And he lines it right at center field. Well, we told you about Cal Ripken. Here is his mother.
He threw hard for an 8 or 9-year-old. And he hit 1 batter. And he hit 2 batters. And he hit 3 batters. And the coach, calls times, and he goes out and he says a few words to Cal. And he came over to me and he said, Cal looked up at me and said, they don't move out of the way very fast, do they?
So he used to be a pitcher, and what a shortstop and hitter he has become. Sandberg is up 1 out. Ball 1, ball 2. We have other family portraits to show you this evening. Adding to the spice
Riskin played as a little leaguer. He's played 1,491, second to Lou Gehrig. Remarkable.
And the count 2-2 to, or 3-1 to Ryne Sandberg.
Setting up inside. That's a lack of knowledge about Ryne Sandberg. He is a deadly inside hitter. Now Alomar back outside, but he goes inside.
And we got a strike, drain 2. Alomar having difficulty hanging on.
Well, that's common in the All-Star game because your catcher catches so many different styles of pitchers that he's not familiar with.
Sandberg fly to right his first time. Keep pitching him inside, will you? Up against, and Sandberg will get to it with one out. You can't pitch Sandberg there.
There are some guys you say you mix it up. You get to a point where you pitch him outside, inside. This guy is a dead inside hitter. He doesn't miss it too often, as he shows on that fastball inside. It was up. If you come inside on Ryne Sandberg, it better be way, way inside.
That's the first extra base hit by the National League in an All-Star game since '87.
Wow. They haven't homered in the last 6 years.
Really?
Right.
That one got by me. Here's Will Clark with a runner at second, one out, and strike one. Will single to right his first time. 2 years ago, they gave Clark the Silver Spike Award, emblematic of the best collegiate player. They knew what they were doing, didn't they, Tim?
Down in Mississippi State, Rafael Palmeiro and that strong hitting Texas lineup now. Palmeiro signing with the Cubs, going down to Texas. Texas ahead in the American League West.
Fielder to the pitcher, Key. 2 out, runner at third. Will Clark was bested by Jimmy Key. He hates it. He hates it when he doesn't get a hit. Look at that puss.
Will the thrill.
And it's up to Bobby Bonilla, who drove home the first inning run, bouncing one off the ankle of Jack Morris, who pitched 2 innings, 1 run, 4 hits, struck out 1, walked none. This Toronto pitcher has had some arm miseries in the past, and we're happy to see that he's overcome those and doing well. 1-1.
It's Steve of the Blue Jays that's on the shelf now. And that's what prompted the trade for Tom Candiotti. Roger Clemens now in the pen. Now, they've got to have in the pen. They keep coming at you, don't they? Whew.
That's a strange feeling for him to be warming up in the bullpen during a game.
And it's got to be even stranger for Jimmy Key. This is his first bullpen appearance since 1986. He'll take it, though. It's an all-star game, right?
Right. He has a runner at third, 2 out, behind Bonilla. And a foul, 2-2. National League got a run in the first on hits by Gwynn, Bart, and Bonilla. Sandberg perched at third, 2 out. Struck him out away. Now the National League is left free. We'll return to the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
In the past 2 years, one TV show has actually been credited with saving more than 50 lives. So if you think you can live without watching television for one night, make sure it isn't Tuesday.
Here, the score is 1-0 National League. One of the hot teams in baseball, the Yankees.
2-2.
Barfield's first pitch, line drive, base hit to right field. Sierra up with the ball. Here comes Sachs. Here comes the throw. He is safe. Barfield's got a beat on it, and he's got it. Davis tags. Here comes the throw, and holy cow, what a throw!
Holy cow, what a throw. You see those Yankees against the Angels Sunday at 2:30 Eastern Time with the pregame show. And on that pregame show, more of the Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio interview. So catch it early. We have a new pitcher, Dennis Martinez, and the batter from the Blue Jays, so we don't know who they're rooting for. Martinez from Montreal or Roberto Alomar. He's batting in the number 9 spot. Bottom of the third, 1-0 National League. Martinez 10-5. Out of play.
One of 4 brother combinations to start an all-star game. Morton Walker Cooper did it for the Cardinals back in 42 and 3. Dixie and Harry Walker in 47. Joe and Dom DiMaggio in 49. So this is the first time in 42 years that brothers have started for the same team in an all-star game.
This fellow coming over from San Diego is quickly a big favorite with Toronto, hitting .283, 5 home runs. That's out of play. 1 and 2.
Strange thing, Jack, about that 47 season when Dixie and Harry Walker started for the National League. Dixie Walker playing for the Dodgers. Harry Walker was traded from the Cardinals to the Phillies in mid-season, and he was with the Phillies when he started the All-Star game and ended up leading the league in hitting that year.
One of our good friends down in Leeds, Alabama, Harry Walker. Don't do that to our hometown boy. 2 and 2, and that is not unlike Martinez.
Pitch inside for effect. You can see Santiago sitting inside. I wonder what Sandy Alomar thought about that knockdown pitch.
He probably laughed. We got him.
That'll wake you up, Roberto.
Now the count 3 and 2 to the leadoff hitter in the American League third. Out of play. Well, his folks will have to tell him that he was at the All-Star game in '91. He's happy, though.
2 people for 1 ticket.
All-Star game Toronto. They say that this game has infused more than $30 million into the local economy. Wow. Anybody going to get that one? Maybe not. Yep, Calderon. This crowd was rooting so hard for a home run.
That got this Toronto crowd on their feet, didn't it? This ball low and away from Martinez. Alomar, I mean, just think, he was voted in, and it was his first time in the American League. Usually the guys, look at that, leaning forward. Look at Sandy. Usually a guy needs a little time in the league before he's voted in by the fans, but here Roberto Alomar traded the first year and voted in by the fans, first year in the American League. What a talent.
And so the batter now is Ricky Henderson. And a hit. That is the second of the evening by the American League. Now we'll get some base running action.
Now things are going to heat up a little bit.
Tim, you and I both know how clever Dennis Martinez is at keeping runners close.
This should be a great battle between Martinez and Henderson. Ricky with a second American League hit. Martinez with a terrific move to first base. Henderson with 966 stolen bases. All-time leader. He'll probably end up, if he stays healthy, with about 1,500. That's his goal.
The way Martinez can hold runners, the way Henderson can run, the way Boggs can bat, this is going to take 5 minutes. And he took a pitch to give Henderson a chance to run. Strike 1.
This will be about like the last 40 seconds of an NBA game right here.
Henderson has stolen 966. Here's his manager. He's on the move. 2 on, and that might be an error, or they might give him a hit.
Yeah, Sandberg made such a sparkling play on that ball, throwing off balance. He had nothing on the throw, but it did, I agree with you, it looked like John McSherry, the first base umpire, had that right hand cupped, ready to punch him out. Henderson stopping on the great play by Sandberg, and now the one hopper over there. Had Clark held on, they'd probably get the call. You could see that right hand being cupped up by John McSherry, but Clark drops the ball.
And they rule it a base hit for Boggs. So he's been on base twice. The reason I groaned when he was running is that Boggs hit the ball and Henderson would have stolen the base. And the batter, Ripken. Foul tip. National League manager wants to hang on to the 1-0 lead. This is his first time managing an all-star team. And there's La Russa. He wants a hit from Ripken.
Speaking of first times, I wonder how many times Cal Ripken Jr. has faced his former teammate. The answer, none. First time.
Talking about Dennis Martinez. One ball, one strike. Ricky Henderson has thoughts about stealing third base. If he does so, he'll do it against a very good catcher, Benito Santiago.
Both Santiago and Alomar, very unusual. They throw from their knees as well as they do standing up.
It's amazing what they can do. 2 on, 1 out. Inside 2-1. Bottom of the third. 1-0 National League. 2 on, 1 out for the American. Sandberg working at keeping Henderson close at second base. In fact, he's out of position in so doing.
But the likelihood of Ripken going the other way, remote. That's why Sandberg's holding him close and not the shortstop, Ozzie Smith. Smith has to protect against the pull side, and Sandberg can hold Henderson close because not too many ground balls to the right side by Ripken.
He hammered that one, and Gwynn's on the run. Forget it! Tuned up yesterday in the home run hitting contest.
Did he ever? We mentioned 22 at-bats yesterday. 12 home runs, far and away the best in the home run hitting contest. And he duplicates that feat. 2 at-bats tonight. Has 18 during the season. And I mean a hanging curveball. And Ripken says, Benito, I'll handle this one.
Well, how about back-to-back, Cecil? Spieler paying his first time. 3-1 American.
Big league hitters rarely let pitches like this pass. That's all about belt high, breaking right into that zone of Ripken, and he hammered it out of here.
3-1 American lead. 1-2 to Fielder. 2-2. He was looking hopefully at the plate umpire. You're not going to call me out, are you? This is the most pleasant of people. Cecil Fielder. He spoiled that good pitch.
We mentioned Cal Ripken Jr. yesterday with 12 and 22 swings. Nothing to it, huh, Cal?
Easy.
12 home runs and 22 swings yesterday. That one hitting the facade in the upper deck.
And he is stung the National League here in the third. 3-2 to the big man. Tough inning for Dennis. First of all, the line drive by Alomar that was caught. Single by Henderson, single by Boggs, and a home run by Ripken. The middle, and there's Sandberg. He knows how to play on the AstroTurf, even though he plays on a grass field in Chicago. 2 out.
That is a design throw. He was throwing off balance on that ball hit by Boggs, but watch how Sandberg, realizing that all he has to do is get it on line with fielder running. He throws the ball intentionally onto the rug, and Clark with a scoop. First one that I can remember doing that, shortstop Davey Concepcion with the Cincinnati Reds. Trajectory of the ball is lower, and the rug allows the true hop.
And with 2 out, Danny Turnbull is up. He fanned his first time. Tommy Glavine pitched 2 innings. No runs, 1 hit, struck out 3, walked 1. And Dennis Martinez started this inning fresh, and he's been roughed up. And that's the way the fans like it. Action. Strike. Hard hit to Sabo. Have another look at that home run. 3 runs, 3 hits, 3-1. American League on top.
Morris Blackman here at the NBA Finals. See what makes Michael Jordan the best. Is it the shoes? Gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. Gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. Gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. Gotta be. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes.
It had to be the shoes.
The Bud Light IMSA Racing Team. Catch it this season.
How do we get the truck back? Throw it in reverse.
They were on their way to the top, but a few old men were spoiling all their fun. It was time for some new blood. Christian Slater, Patrick Dempsey, Richard Grieco, Mobsters, rated R. Starts July 26th.
When you have a lot of horses under your hood, shouldn't you have Michelin high-performance tires under your car?
There's a rush in the wind, there's a road on the right, and you feel like you're ready to fly.
You hear the crack of the thunder. Oh, you gotta go. And you know you're ready for the ride.
Pontiac Express, don't stand up for less.
That's the ride on the Pontiac Express.
We build excitement.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Bobby Bonilla put the National League on top, but Cal Ripken did something about that with a 3-run homer. They've taken Jack Morris to the hospital for x-rays of his foot. And this is when he was struck by the batted ball off Bonilla's bat, which drove in the run. He continued to pitch, but now he's on the way to the hospital. Now into the 4th inning. Dawson, who grounded into a double play in the first, is up, and he'll face Roger Clemens. Ball 1. 2.22 ERA. You don't shake this fellow up. Joe Carter, whose name you see there is in left field. And Andre Dawson is the batter. We're in the fourth. That ball is foul, out of play. Let's go and join Jim Cott at this moment. Jim?
All right, thanks, Jack. National League starter Tom Glavine, 3 strikeouts, a hit. Was the confrontation with Boggs all you thought it would be?
Well, I didn't live up to my end of the bargain. I think he got up there and I tried to relax a little bit too much and didn't throw anything near the plate, unfortunately, but I made it through and everything's all right.
It's fun to play baseball in Atlanta again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We're having a lot of fun down there playing. I know the fans are having a lot of fun. We just want to keep winning and keep things going and hopefully stay in the pennant race as long as we can.
Got a great young pitching staff behind you. More guys down there.
Yeah, we do. We've got a few more guys in the minor leagues that are pressing us up there in the big leagues for some jobs. So we're going to have to make us pitch a little bit harder, and hopefully they can come up and help us out, and it'll be a welcome addition.
Great job, Tom. Thanks for the visit. Back to Jack and Tim.
Okay, Jim Cott. Glavine pitched 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, struck out 3, walked 1. Count has gone to 3-2 on Dawson. Speaking of the Braves, they resume Thursday night at home against St. Louis. Dawson courts it to center. How far do you hit that one, Andre? Look out wherever you are. What a home run. It's 3-2. That ball went more than 450 feet, I would guess, Tim.
Well, all you have to do is watch the reaction of Ken Griffey Jr. I'll tell you, Roger the Rocket Clemens was aptly named after that pitch. What a rocket.
You think that would have been out of Wrigley Field?
Probably.
Ivan Calderon is up. Strike 1 to him.
Remember, Clemens had come inside with the fastballs, and now he goes away. And Dawson knew it, and so did Ken Griffey Jr. 2 steps back. 2 steps, we're going to have a ball. Isn't that the song? Not this time.
And there's one by Calderon, but it's playable in center field by Griffey for the first out of the inning.
We mentioned the reaction of Ken Griffey Jr. on the ball hit by Dawson. Look, 1-2. 2 steps, no ball this time.
That's reminiscent of the Bo Jackson home run in Anaheim
yes,
in '89.
Right, against Rick Russell.
That makes it a 1-run game, 3-2 American League. Sabo. Ball on a strike. A delay call by Joe Brinkman. Strike 1.
The last Cubs player to hit an all-star game home run was 1964 when Billy Williams hammered one out. Shea Stadium.
First National League All-Star home run in a long time. 7 games. And it was a beaut.
You could chop that one up and have a couple of 2 or 3 home runs out of that thing. Ooh.
One and 2 to Sabo, 1 out.
Johnson of the New York Mets. We mentioned Shea Stadium. Well, Hojo leading the National League in a ton of offensive categories. And his wife is here, his wife Kim, and she is with child and due any moment, really. The baby was initially due the latter part of July. It's going to come prematurely, and she wanted to come see the Sky Dome. That's why she's here. She got an okay from the doctor because she wanted to come to Toronto to see Sky Dome. See, Hojo's saying, yep, that's right.
He can't hear you, though. Sabo hits one to left, and Joe Carter just into the game. That's the second out. Guess who Pat O'Brien is with?
Oh, with Kim Johnson. And why are you here anyway?
I'm here to watch Howard play.
Kim, it's not really any minute, is it? But you are imminent, right?
Yeah, it's not any minute, but I'm up here, and I know some people probably think, why is she up here? Because she's 9 months pregnant. But in baseball, we're away from our families so much that I just didn't want to be away from him if I did go into labor, and he's playing here and I'm at home. So I thought I'd take the chance and come up here, and we made it a matter of prayer, and I know the Lord's watching over us, and we're going to make it through this.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you have a plan if for any reason you go into labor here?
Yeah, I have a doctor. Actually, I found out he was a Mets pitcher a long time ago. So yeah, so I've got a doctor in a hospital, and I have my prenatal records with me, and we're all right. I feel fine about it. I'm
Good
making
luck.
everybody else nervous around me, though.
I'm afraid to sit by you.
Yeah?
What do you think of the Sky Dome, by the way?
It's great. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's a really nice stadium. I'm so thankful that I am here.
We'll help you out if you need help.
Food's great, too.
Great, too. He's up here eating munchies with Kim. Back to you guys.
And that doctor's name is Ron Taylor. He used to pitch for the Mets and for the Cardinals.
And the team physician for the Toronto Blue Jays, and still throws batting practice for the Blue Jays.
He's an orthopedic surgeon.
But he likes to throw batting practice. What can I tell you?
Benito Santiago drills one to center for Ken Griffey Jr. and the inning is over. 1 run for Dawson. 3-2 American League, bottom of the 4th. Oh, 3-2 the American League leading. A couple of home runs. We've had some action. Henderson and Griffey coming up. And that's Felix Jose playing right field, and there's Dawson. He's out of the game. He did enough, I would say. Good boy, Andre. We're rooting for all these players to all have a good night. Dave Henderson. And a breaking ball strike from Dennis Martinez. He struck out his first time while Pat O'Brien was talking to the president. 1 ball, 1 strike. Good pitch downstairs, 1-2. Anderson, Griffey, and Alomar. This fella carried the Oakland A's for a long time this year, Tim.
He carried a lot of ball clubs. The Boston Red Sox back in 1986, last half of the season.
He waited but popped it up into short center, and it's going to be caught by Tony Gwynn. First out, 4th inning. Well, here's the way the scoring has gone. Bobby Bonilla drove home the first run, bounced it off the leg of Jack Morris. Ripken hit a long 3-run homer, made it 3-1, and Dawson changed the score. And out. They've had 10 hits already. And Griffey Jr. flied out his first time. Martinez kept it away from him.
Hey, you mentioned Dave Henderson. It's so nice to see him finally getting some notoriety. Great postseason player. Be 33 years old in 9 days, his first All-Star game.
Hard hit and no chance for Sandberg.
What I was leading up to then, you may be wondering who the oldest All-Star non-pitcher has been as you're looking at the Seattle Mariners second-year player, Ken Griffey Jr. He was the first Seattle player to be selected as a starter last year, his second straight start. And the oldest player, Satchel Paige, 47. Pete Rose was 44. Carl Yastrzemski, 43. And Carlton Fisk, 43. But the oldest first-time player was Babe Ruth, 1933. He was 38 years old, and the reason was there were no All-Star games before then.
Ozzie will get the force out with Sandberg for the second out of the inning. 6-4 is the way it went. Here's the president of the National League, Bill White. Bill, you're behind by a run. greeting for Roberto Alomar. Hit the ball hard but out into left field his first time. Runner at first, 2 gone. Second inning of work for Dennis Martinez. President of the American League is Dr. Bobby Brown. And he leads by a run, 3-2, 4th inning. Alomar, the switch hitter, up there with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Griffey single with 1 out. He's at first, 2 out. Out of play. Let's go down to Jim Cott again. James?
Well, Jack, All-Star games, you mentioned not without injuries, and Jack Morris with me right now. How's the foot?
It hurts.
Are you going to get it x-rayed?
Yeah, they're going to take me over. It's a little tender in the side of the foot there, and we'll see what happened.
You had a smile on your face after it hit you. We didn't think it was serious.
I had to fool Tony.
Yeah. Well, the Minnesota fans will be eager to find out if it's all right. Let's go back to Jack and Tim.
And we're rooting for Jack Morris, and of course you Twins fans are crossing your fingers. And another jam job and another foul ball. 1-2 to Alomar.
How about that? The reason he smiled was he wanted to fool Tony La Russa, the manager.
And stay in the game.
And stay in the ball game. I guess he fooled him. He won another inning and a third.
And he did pretty well, 2 innings. He did give up 4 hits, but only 1 run. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the brothers are at it. Sandy at first, Roberto at the plate, and at Sandberg, he had to flinch, might have gotten in the lights. The inning is over. 3-2 American.
Oldsmobile, the new generation of Olds. Shearson Lehman Brothers, you can get there from here. And by the people at Nike who encourage you to just do it.
3-2 American League after 4. Ozzie Smith will lead it off, and his mother remembers his young baseball days.
He would always wait for me to come home from work. And sometime I wouldn't get a chance to wash his uniform. So I had to rush home, wash his uniform, press it, and take it over to the park to him, because we were living right across the street from the park. And he'd be waiting on that uniform.
Oh, that's nice.
And the Smith family raised a real gentleman. Strike 1. We have a White Sox battery. Jack McDowell is on the mound with a 10-4 record. And his catcher is Carlton Fisk. And the pitch inside, 1-1. Ozzie lined out to short his first time. Two balls and a strike. He hasn't lost much at shortstop. The arm not as strong as he used to be, but he is compensated with knowledge of how to play the position. Got those little Popeye muscles, and he's hitting over 300. And he hits it foul, 2-2. I saw him a few years ago in spring training, Tim, and he was just killing himself. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to play for a long time, and I better get ready now.
Some guys wait until it's too late, not Ozzie.
He's leading off here in the 5th. And ball 3. I hate to see this game move along to the middle innings. It's so much fun, really. I wish we could play here all night long. Waiting on deck, Tony Gwynn, who's already had a hit. And Ozzie draws a walk. There's the tying run.
See that inside pitch to Ozzie Smith, and you think of the Tony La Russa and the Carlton Fisk problems. Carlton Fisk was the catcher when Terry Steinbach, the catcher of the Oakland Athletics, was, I mean, eerily, scarily hit by Bobby Thigpen, the reliever. And he and La Russa had words. We talk about how comfortable it is for everybody to be here. Well, there can be some awkward moments also. Here you are playing for a manager when just 3 weeks ago you've had words with him. Jack McDowell, on the other hand, the pitcher, booed here earlier when the players were introduced because back on May 19th he hit the Toronto outfielder Mark Whitten.
Tony Gwynn hits it foul and out of play. 1 strike.
Whitten went out to the mound. A fight ensued, and both Whitten and McDowell kicked out of the game, and he was booed tonight. So there you have a battery with a little controversy, and I would imagine between Pudge and McDowell, there's some awkward moments in that clubhouse.
But La Russa is rooting for McDowell here as he faces Tony Gwynn. Leadoff man is on. And a bouncer might be 2. Got 1. Yep. Nice play by Boggs to get that one started. And Alomar can make the double.
Oh, baby. I'm telling you. Boggs on his knees, and watch Alomar. There's several ways you can protect yourself at second base, and watch Alomar use the bag right there. See, the bag's between him and the sliding Ozzie Smith. He made the quick pivot and helped Ozzie up. Pretty good athletic ability right there. Also nice play by Wade Boggs on the front end.
And he helped McDowell out. There are 2 gone, and Sandberg bats with the bases empty. That's in at the knees.
There's that pivot. Once again, you see Alomar getting down, making Ozzie Smith get down. That's why you throw, not overhanded, but sidearm.
Sandberg drills one into right center field, and it is caught by Henderson. Dave, that is. Now we play 4 1/2. The American League leads by 1.
This is ridiculous. I'm an athlete, not an actor. Let me out of this thing. I got rehab to do.
Oh.
Give me those shoes.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Nice shoes.
You watch too much TV, kid. Hey! Where's that music coming from? You know I don't have time for this. But I do. Hit it.
Instant replay is an officiating tool in sports. You can register your vote by calling this AT&T MultiQuest 900 service number, 1-900-436-9000. Each call will cost 95 cents. You must be 18 years or older to vote. You'll have the chance to vote on 4 different sports.
The Cal Ripken home run has the American League on top. 3-2, bottom of the 5th, and a new pitcher for the Nationals. It's Frank Viola of the Mets talking with Benito. We have a new shortstop. It's Barry Larkin. And a new second baseman having a terrific year for the Dodgers, Juan Samuel. And here's a big ovation for Joe Carter, who's going to lead it off his first at bat tonight. just outside. Frank 10 and 5. And he's the third pitcher of the night for the National League. He held up, and that's ball 2. Swing. Carter is hitting .302.
That was a changeup from Frank Viola at circle change, taught to him by Johnny Padres, the pitching coach of the Phillies, now in the minor leagues with Frank when Frank was with Minnesota.
And 3-1 to the leadoff man. Challenging Frank, see what happens here. He caught the corner. Carter didn't think so, and gets the crowd on the neck of the umpire.
It's one of those times when you can't really quibble about that strike because you want to hit anyway.
That's right. You don't want to walk. You don't want to walk, Joe.
No.
Ball into short right. That's trouble for Felix Jose, and it is a foul ball. Foul ball. Joe Carter gets another crack at it. Take a look from up high, and you can umpire for yourself.
About a half a foot.
Greg Bonet, the umpire out there. By the way, these umpires are selected on merit. Once again, they changed the system, but now they are selected in that fashion. Carter with Cleveland, San Diego, now Toronto. Still 3-2 as he leads off in the 5th.
That was the big trade. Joe Carter and Roberto Alomar coming from San Diego for Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez. Both Fernandez and McGriff having good years, helping out San Diego. And again, I think Fred McGriff should have been an all-star this year.
Everybody's happy about that trade. Another foul by Joe.
The all-star roster, you may or may not know, 28 players. And when they had 8 teams in baseball before the 1961 season, it was a 25-man roster. So the American League has expanded by 6 teams since then and only added 3 players. The National League 4 teams and has added 3 players. And I think that's good enough reason to expand the roster.
Carter strikes out on a low corner foul tip. So he's battling Viola. Here's some of the guys who did not make the team.
Yeah, Chuck Finley having a terrific year with California. What about a revived and rejuvenated Dave Winfield? The same with Chili Davis. Jose Canseco, of all people, 21 home runs. Brian Harper batting over 300. And we mentioned Fred McGriff.
And another foul. I might add to that list, there are others. Tom Pagnozzi, the St. Louis catcher, one of the big reasons for the St. Louis success this year. And to my mind, second only to Santiago, if he is second to Santiago as a catcher. We'll see what's going to come of this battle, Viola and Carter. We've all been asking all around here, where's Pat O'Brien? Where is Pat O'Brien? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, Jack, to be honest with you, I'm about 15 stories above right field at the Hard Rock Cafe. There's no baseball memorabilia up here. It's all rock and roll. For example, Michael Jackson's hat and shoes. Great glove, a lot of hits. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's all rock and roll, but the attraction here is, of course, a beautiful view of the baseball field. And I was trying to think of a cute and funny way to end this, but I can't. I guess I'm between a place and a Hard Rock.
A place and a Hard Rock, and we just saw a brilliant play by Tony Gwynn, playing center field to take care of Wade Boggs.
Well, Tony Gwynn wasn't between a place and a Hard Rock. This ball, a fastball out over the plate, and Boggs hits it hard to the left of Tony Gwynn, and Gwynn makes a fine backhanded play. 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Boggs doesn't usually hit the ball out there, does he?
No, not against left-handers especially. That left field slot. Place in a hard rock.
That's O'Brien. I wonder where he's headed now. The batter is Ripken, star of the game so far, probably. Base hit, 3-run homer. And a strike.
A lot of bad hops up in that Hard Rock Cafe. Only ballpark in Major League Baseball with a cafe that is as well known as the Hard Rock Cafe.
Let's see what Cal Ripken does this time. Double play ball. Larkin, Samuel, and that takes care of 5. He dropped the ball. Clark. Hey, Will. What are you doing? No error. Fielder's choice. Or if you don't get a double play on that, you'll never get a double play.
Yeah, and you can't anticipate a double play, but if you could, this would be the ball on which you would anticipate it. Maybe where there's a will, there's not a way. And usually Will sucks that ball up.
It looked like Samuel threw a little sidearm. The ball must have sailed.
Yep. Samuel trying to make the runner, Joe Carter, get down. He did, but that ball did sail on Will Clark. That was an errant throw. That was not Clark's fault.
Yeah, the camera had a better angle than we did. Cecil Fielder is up. 2 up. Ball 1. Ripken playing it very close to first base. He can steal a base, but he's going to let Fielder swing the bat. This is a bonus at bat for the American League. And they're already ahead 3-2, 5th inning. Smashed it into left center, and Gwynn makes another good play, and the inning is over. 3-2 after 5. American will return to the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station. Or with the American League on top, the Cal Ripken home run. National League has out hit him 6-5. And this big crowd wondered what was happening here a moment ago. I'll show you what we're talking about. Jack McDowell ready to pitch. A big, long limo, a stretch limo came on the field. And what happened? The ground crew jumped out wearing dinner jackets. And then Griffey and Henderson jumped in the car and said, take us away. But they're still in the lineup. And McDowell pitches to Will Clark. Ball 1, ball 2. Clark has a single and 2 trips. Second inning of work for the White Sox hurler.
That's doing it in style, and they have done it in style with Sky Dome up here in Toronto.
Clark didn't want that one either. 3-0.
The roof was closed until 7:40 this evening, and it took about 20 minutes to open the roof. And unbelievably, it cost $7 to open this roof. Can you believe that? Whatever happened to inflation? $7 to open that roof.
And we're blessed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's Canadian or American either.
No, and we're blessed with a beautiful evening here with very temperate weather.
That's cheap electricity.
Clark draws a walk, and here's Jim Cott. Jim?
I'm with the Wizard of Oz. 11 straight All-Star games. What's special about coming to this place?
I tell you what, you know, you hear a lot about, a lot of people talk about the dome and the beauty of it and what a spectacle. And I tell you, it's breathtaking to see this place. There's so much information going on at one time. It's just a beautiful place.
Another thing that's going on are the St. Louis Cardinals. What's with your ball club this year? It's not just the kids, it's you veterans.
Well, you know, we're all pitching in. Everybody is working very hard. You know, everybody's doing what they're capable of doing, and things have gone well to this point.
They sure have. Keep doing it, Oz.
Those two former teammates at St. Louis, and Bobby Bonilla gets his second hit of the night.
Bobby Bonilla in the first inning hit one off the foot of Jack Morris, and this was another base hit up the middle. I mentioned last year of his contract, Bobby Bonilla, and controversy as to whether Pittsburgh can maintain his salary. They've offered him $16 million for 4 years, and he turned it down. Right. Frank Viola, $13 million from the Mets for 3 years, turned down.
Well, here is the free swinging Felix Jose with the first 2 on in the 6th inning for the National League. Jack McDowell is in trouble. Felix hits one that's going to advance the runners, one of them at least, force out, no other play. Let's go down to the National League dugout from a moment ago with Lou Piniella talking with Jim Leyland and Art Howell.
In other words, if we go 1, 2, 3, you're ready to go in? What do you think? I think closing. You know, we could do, I'll tell you what we could do, though, if we want, is let Clark hit, right? We can hit Murray here in the DH spot and put Clark at first base.
Well, we'll see what they do. One of the things they're going to do is send up Paul O'Neill to bat for Ivan Calderon, the Cincinnati hitter. 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and even a fly ball would tie this game in the 6th inning. Oh, and Felix is saved. He got back. Well, that's the closest I've ever seen that play come.
I was thinking the same thing. Usually that play doesn't work at all, but Jack McDowell appearing to throw to third. Remember, you can fake to third when you're in the stretch. You can fake to second when you're in the stretch. However, you can't fake to first, so he fakes to third, wheels off the rubber, and throws back to first, and somehow Jose avoided the tag.
And he got the good call from John McSherry, not the automatic call. 1st and 3rd, infielders back looking for 2. And strike 1 to Paul O'Neill. O'Neill having another fine year for the Reds. He's backed up 0-2. The runner at third base is Will Clark. He started with a walk. On a fielder's choice is Felix Jose. And there is 1 out. O'Neill has 15 home runs. Only got 1 swing left. 1 and 2. One of the things about these all-star pitchers, most of them are capable of striking batters out. Very few finesse pitchers. First and third, 1 out. A critical spot for the National League here in the 6th. Waiting on deck is Hojo, soon to be a daddy. Howard Johnson of the Mets. 63 runs batted in. O'Neill laid off. 2-2. When the new baby arrives in the Johnson family, it'll be the 3rd child. Val trying to keep that ball down, hopeful of getting the double play, and there's Hojo wanting to get up in an RBI situation. Well, they're going, and a bouncing ball. The play at the plate. Out at the plate is Will Clark, and the American League still leads 3-2. The hard slide of Clark didn't bother Fisk at all.
That's the toughest play for a catcher to make, to receive a throw from the right side of the field and then turn around. You don't know where the runner is. But Fisk realized that he had some time, and he held on to the ball easily. You try to get the ball in your bare hand there, but Fisk didn't have time, so he had to make the tag with a glove hand, and the new catcher's mitts with the break-in are more conducive to making that slap tag.
And that's typical of Will Clark with that hard slide.
Sure.
He'll do it wherever. Now they're 2 on, 2 out for Hojo. And the American League still leads. National League needs a hit. Ball 1.
if you're the catcher and you receive a ball from the right side of the field, you don't know whether the runner is there, but I would imagine Fisk, knowing the speed of Clark and the ball getting to Fielder rather quickly, he knew he had some time. A hard slide by Clark, but a scoring opportunity for the time being nullified by the National League.
2 on, 2 out. Johnson, ball and a half swing, 1-1.
Coming into this game, Jack, Howard Johnson was the only National League non-pitcher with an RBI in All-Star competition. Nobody else had an RBI. Of course, that's changed with the Dawson home run and the single by Bobby Bonilla in the first.
1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ojo, a better hitter from the left side as he is batting now. Dow gave up a walk and a single at the outset of the inning. They're still at first and second, 2 out. Play for Boggs. 2 left for the Nationals. They've left 5. They still trail by 1.
Michael Jordan, the best. Is it the shoes? Gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. Gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. Gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. Gotta be. It's gotta be the shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes. The shoes.
It had to be the shoes.
Going to bat in the 6th inning, leading 3-2, though they've been out hit 7-5. We have a new pitcher for the National League, and a fellow who is probably more thrilled than anybody to be on this all-star roster, Pete Harnisch of the Houston Astros. New first baseman from the Dodgers, Eddie Murray. Over at third base, Howard Johnson, who pinch hit and fouled out and left those men on base. Another unsuccessful pinch hitter was Paul O'Neill. He takes over in left field, and he'll get another at bat. Tim, you saw more than I the bubbly reaction about Pete Harnisch being here.
Well, you were in Washington yesterday. By the way, Harold Baines, the pinch hitter for Danny Tartabull. But, you know, Harnisch has a record as a starter like a reliever to make an all-star team. He's 5-7. But think about how deceptive it is when you consider the fact that Harnisch has been involved in six, a half dozen, 1-0 games. He's 2, 2, and 2 in 1-0 games.
Harold Baines breaks the bat and grounds out to Samuel. I guess he got jammed, huh?
I would say that's a big league jam job right there.
So Harold Baines goes down on 1 pitch, and Harnisch has some early success here in the 6th inning. Here's a strong hitter, Ruben Sierra of the Rangers, coming up to bat for Dave Henderson. Henderson 0 for 2. They have a good hitting lineup with the Rangers this year.
We talked about it earlier. Julio Franco, Sierra, Rafael Palmeiro, Steve Buechele having a fine year. Juan Gonzalez. They can put some thunder. If they can get people out, if Nolan Ryan can stay off the DL, they have as good a shot as anybody to win that American League West. They're presently in first place by percentage points over the Twins. But 2.5 games separates 5 teams in the American League West.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It'd be nice to have somebody different in the postseason. Followed by the batter, Sierra, 1-2. And waiting on deck, Ken Griffey, who's already had a hit in this game. Griffey Jr. Leadoff man has been retired. Here in the 6th. 1-2 2 the count. Half swing and a foul ball. Eddie Murray, there's a guy who plays the game easily. I mean, easily. He's terrific offensively and defensively.
He has put up some numbers.
Hall of Fame numbers.
9 home runs shy of the 400 mark. I'll tell you, the guy batting right now, Ruben Sierra, you talk about numbers. Second in the MVP voting 2 years ago to Robin Yount. And a lot of people thought he should have won the MVP that year, including Ruben Sierra. He's out to prove it again this year.
That breaking ball missed. 2-2. Number 21 in his ear.
Roberto Clemente, he's been compared to number 21 with the Pirates for years, from Puerto Rico.
Let's get down to Jim Kaat. James?
Here with Frank Viola, the Mets are starting to play better, and why?
Well, I think basically what it comes down to is our starting staff is finally doing the job we're capable of doing. I think that builds everybody's confidence up. And you know, when you get the key hit in a situation like that, the starters take over, and then we have a Johnny Franklin in the bullpen. So actually, all cylinders are going now, and we're looking forward to the second half.
What do you have to do in the second half to catch Pittsburgh? Main thing.
Continue playing good fundamental baseball. That's playing the defense, getting the timely hitting, doing the little things necessary to win, and hopefully the starters stay healthy and do their job.
Been an all-star in a Twins uniform, a Mets uniform. You'll probably be in the game again next year, but what uniform will you be wearing?
We'll just have to wait till the end of the season, and we'll go from there, Kitty.
All right. How about Rod Carew, the honorary captain? You threw him his 3,000th thing. You remember that day?
Oh, yeah. I'm in the Hall of Fame for something. Yeah, it was a slider down and away, and he patented Rod Carew, popped it over the shortstop's head for a base hit, and I'll tell you what, I'm very honored to be able to say I gave up his 3,000th hit.
Don't blame you. Back to Jack and Tim.
2-2. And another foul from Ruben Sierra. This pitcher, Pete Harnisch, born on Long Island, played baseball at Fordham University. Viola pitched 1 inning. Gave up a walk, but got away with it. And Harnisch has a 2-2 count. Foul. Out in the American League bullpen, Jeff Reardon is warming up. And for the National League, the Pittsburgh left-hander John Smiley. Lots of players have been in this contest. It's 3-2 American League 6th inning. And Sierra hits another foul. Nothing doing for Benito.
We mentioned 2 years ago the numbers that Sierra put up, and this year no exception. Ruben Sierra still 25 years old. Think about the future he has ahead of him. 3rd in the American League in hitting. Top 5, all of them are here tonight.
There is 1 out, and Sierra continues this battle with Pete Harnisch. 3-2. Popcorn. He's in shape climbing all those steps. That's a beautiful ballpark. This is a perfect ballpark. People in Toronto have been quite hospitable. Did he swing? Third base umpire said yes, and out he's gone. Jim Quick made the call. Sierra can't believe it. I think he swung. That's the second out of the inning. All-star game or no, a half swing's a half swing.
Yep, I thought he went around too. Yeah, that's too far, and Jim Quick called it quickly. A good battle by Sierra to battle Harnisch, fouling all those balls off, and Harnisch goes out of the strike zone to nail Sierra.
He was very emphatic with it. Ruben's still unhappy. His only at bat, he struck out. And the batter is Ken Griffey Jr. What'd you tell me? His dad's out fishing?
Out fishing with his younger brother, who has recently signed with the Seattle Mariners.
There's 2 quick ones on Griffey.
Ken Griffey in the automobile accident in spring training injured, still on the disabled list, but still very much on the roster of the Seattle Mariners. First father and son players to ever play together.
Well, it's not going to be a perfect inning for Harnish. He lost the batter on an 0-2 count. That's the 6th hit for the American League, and it comes with 2 out. 2 hits for Griffey.
Junior didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it to push it through on the right side. Cal Ripken Jr. with 2 of the hits. Ken Griffey Jr. with 2 of the hits. So juniors have 4 of the 6 hits for the American League.
And look who's up. Isn't that great? Still playing so well. Carlton Fisk.
43 years old.
Batting with 2 out. And ball 1. Tell us about that number, Tim. That's 72. That's unusual for a regular.
Rookie of the Year back in 1972, and his number with the Red Sox was 27. So when he signed with the White Sox, the Pale Hose, he decided to turn it around. His son Casey, born in the year 1972. He was a Rookie of the Year that year and thought he would turn his luck around. And as Steve Lyons had that great line earlier this year that in going from the White Sox to the Red Sox, he said it's time to change socks. Every 5 years you got to change socks. So in Pudge's case, it was every 10 years you got to change socks from red to white.
1 ball, 1 strike. So that's the story of the number. Runner at first, 2 out. Ball 2.
Oldest All-Star to get a hit with no surprise there. Ted Williams. Stan Musial 3 months younger. Stan Musial, the leader in home runs in All-Star history with 6. Ted Williams tied with Fred Lynn. They both have 4, and Fred Lynn with the only All-Star Grand Slam homer off Atlee Hammaker in 1983.
So Fisk would break that record if he gets a hit. Runner going. And a foul, 2-2. From high above, the shot from the Fuji blimp, being piloted tonight by the senior captain and chief of operations, John McHugh. He's flown blimps all over the world, and he's up above the Toronto picture tonight. You folks get a chance, come to Toronto and see the Sky Dome. It's worth the trip. And a wonderful city to boot. A little on the expensive side, the ball players who play here tell me, but where isn't it? 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Fisk.
You can open the roof for $7. That's not high. The roof is, but the price is.
That ball, it might drop. It might drop. Might drop. It does. Gwynn broke back. He is the oldest man to ever get a hit in an All-Star game. Carlton Fisk. Nice going, Pudge. Good for you.
Just moved to the top of the list.
Yes, sir. Give me a hand, folks.
That's great.
I'm applauding myself. That's terrific. Tony Gwynn helped him out a little bit by breaking back on the ball, but what the heck. First and third, 2 out against Harnish. Looked like it was going to be an easy inning, and now Roberto could burn him. American League already leading 3-2, 6th inning. Out of play. Griffey at third base. He singled his way on and across the way, the older guy.
Pudge, 21 years older than Ken Griffey Jr.
That sounds strange. That sounds strange. Quite a tribute to his work habits. And Roberto takes it high, 1-1. This place would erupt if Alomar would get a hit. And La Russa, the manager, would like a little more leeway. Bottom of the 6th, 3-2 Americans. 2 out, and a shot for Gwynn to corral. He'll take it. American leads 2. They've left 6, but they lead by 1 after 6.
Come back to Toronto, Ontario. A breathtaking view of the Sky Dome. American League leads 3-2 in the ball game. When we talked about the eating arrangements here, how about the sleeping arrangements? There are 70 rooms that face the ballpark. This one taken by the O-Pee-Chee Company. They are sort of the tops of Canada. I am in the upstairs bedroom. In fact, they even have a Jack Buck card. Jack, I'll bring this to you later. But the room is like any other room, except when they say room with a view, folks, they mean room with a view. For $1,000 a night, they get this kind of thing. The bed's a little small, but it's comfortable. And fellas, there's a great, as a matter of fact, when you get up from this bed, you say, what a great day for baseball as you look out for this. But fellas, there's a story about a couple who were very amorous on one of these beds, but I'll leave that for you to tell.
You leave it for me to tell? Back to Pat O'Brien. Well, we have some changes. Jeff Reardon is the new pitcher in the 5th of the night for the American League. His first opponent is Benito Santiago, and a bouncer to second. Alomar throws out his former teammate, and there's one gone. We have a new left fielder. Joe Carter was in the game earlier. Center fielder is a newcomer to this game, Kirby Puckett. How can you keep him off an all-star team? And we also have a new right fielder, Ruben Sierra, who pinch hit. We're in the 7th inning. It's getting late for the National League, and their batter is Barry Larkin, hitting for the first time. Tell you that Jack McDowell, 2 innings, no runs, 1 hit, no strikeouts, walked 2. But those men were left on. Larkin hits a foul, strike 2.
Barry Larkin leading the National League in slugging percentage. Only 5 shortstops have ever done that in National League history. He also recently had 3 home runs in 1 game. Only Ernie Banks and Freddie Patek, diminutive Freddie Patek, had 3 home runs at Fenway Park in Boston one night.
Hard hit to Ripken. That's the 2nd out. Jim Cott take it away.
Will Clark, all-star games are fun. Most of all, just being here is more so than play. What's special about coming to this place?
Well, this is an excellent ballpark, and the fans are great. And so far, we've had a good time just being here for the last 2 days. And I tip my cap to the city of Toronto. They've done a great job welcoming the ball players, and the ball players are responding with some great baseball.
It has to be a disappointing season for the Giants so far. What can we look for in the second half for improvement?
Well, we're finally starting to get some people healthy, and Kevin Mitchell's back in the lineup, so you're going to see a lot more run production.
Well, congratulations. Back to Jack and Tim.
Thank you. And Will Clark, while he was in the game, had a base hit and a walk. And he gave way to Eddie Murray. This is Tony Gwynn. He is 1 for 3. And now another hit. Typical of him. He's 2 for 4. And a 2-out hit gives the National League a 7th inning chance.
Tony Gwynn with 2 hits to left field. He uses all of the park in which to hit. You can see that plate coverage. That ball was actually outside by about 3 inches. That was a great shot right there. And Gwynn, with that terrific plate coverage, is now out of there. And Brett Butler is going to be the pinch runner for Tony, who leaves the game 2 for 4.
So we have a definite base-stealing threat in Butler, who comes into the game here in the 7th inning, will take over in center field. Butler has stolen 19 bases. Ho, 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 he's been thrown out 14 times. Not a very good percentage, and pitcher and catcher want to talk it over.
I think it's worth another shot just to see the plate coverage of Tony Gwynn. Look where the pitch is. Probably 5 inches outside, and Tony Gwynn just spanks it to left field. Wow. What a hitter.
Ted Williams was talking about not swinging at bad pitches. He said you swing at a pitch 2 inches outside, 2 inches inside, 2 inches high, 2 inches low, and you've expanded the strike zone by 30%. Next Sunday, Yankees and California will tangle. Pregame at 2:30 Eastern Time, and you'll hear more of the conversation with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio. Tony La Russa comes out to talk with Reardon and his catcher. Reardon says, go ahead, let him steal. I'll get the next guy. 8 hits for the National League, 7 for the American. We're going to have a pitching change. We'll be back. Pitcher is Rick Aguilera. Playing third base behind him is Wade Boggs. CBS visited with his dad a few days ago.
I can remember back when I was coaching him in Little League, and he had an old owl foot on a string that he wore around his neck, and it was his good luck charm. One day somebody stole his owl foot. Well, Wade, he went berserk. You know, no owl foot, no hits. For the next year, I hunted owls all over the state of Florida trying to find an owl to shoot to get him another owl foot.
There's Wade Boggs. I wonder if he still wears an owl's foot around his neck.
Oh, very unusual for Wade Boggs to be superstitious, right? He goes out, he runs at 5:17 or takes ground balls at 5:17 every night. He runs at 7:17 every night on a 7:35 start, and he eats chicken before every game. Everybody knows about the superstitions of Wade Boggs.
What time does he eat?
I don't know. I guess 3:17.
Aguilera pitching to Samuel, who gets a 2-out hit to continue this National League threat in the 7th inning. First pitch from Aguilera, base hit past the owl foot. Rick Aguilera has 22 saves for the Twins, one less than Dennis Eckersley, who leads the American League. And Tim, you and I saw him when he was struggling as a starter. He finally found a home.
Started with the New York Mets, traded in June of 1989, along with left-hander David West, Kevin Tapani doing a fine job with Minnesota, Tim Drummond also in that trade. I tell you, it's interesting as you see Eddie Murray right there. Aguilera throwing a lot of fastballs and sliders before the '89 season. He was jogging along the beach in California. He's from California. He saw a softball on the side. He picked the softball up and he said, you know what, I think I'll stretch my fingers out and learn how to throw the split finger fastball. Well, that softball was a blessing in disguise because now he's one of the top short relievers in baseball.
He better do the job here against Eddie Murray. 2 on, 2 out. And a foul out of play. Jim Cott, what do you have for us?
Well, you see a lot of smiles at All-Star time, none bigger than the one on the face of Dave Henderson your first time. Everything is cracked up to be?
Oh, yeah, I'm glad to be here and see the guys, and had a lot of fun.
Do you feel uncomfortable in the dugout the first time? Because there's a lot of players that when the season starts in the second half, you don't like anymore.
Oh, yeah, and they're all AL West guys, and we got to beat them up, so they're looking at us kind of funny.
That's a great race, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun down the stretch.
All right, back to the action.
2 on, 2 out. And low to Murray. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that was Aguilera's best pitch, Tim.
And that's the splitter we were talking about. Stretched those fingers out with that softball, and now he throws that splitter about as easily as he does his fastball.
Eddie Murray, one of the big reasons why the Dodgers lead by 5 over Cincinnati. And that's a strike. 1 and 2.
That splitter, it's just tough to gauge if you're a hitter. You see the downward action, the ball almost coming back also. Very, very unusual pitch, and as we said earlier, the pitch of the 90s.
That was a dangerous delivery there, but Aguilera got away with it. And he's ahead on the count. And he struck him out. This dropped the ball, tagged him. Now the National League has left 7, and they still trail 3-2, 7th inning.
And today's Duracell batteries can even outrun the ones we made just a few years ago. Today's Duracell. You can't top the copper top.
The situation we talked about. Delay a little bit. I want to get Aggie, so we take a slow bit. Didn't relief. I stay in a stay in the bench, get your pom-poms, yell like hell.
CBS had a microphone on Tony La Russa. He said, stall a little bit. We'll get Aguilera in here, sit on the bench, and root during the 7th inning stretch. And that's where we are now, bottom of the 7th, and the new pitcher is John Smiley of the Pirates. And the first pitch, ball 1, and the new catcher is Craig Biggio from Seton Hall and the Houston Astros. The batter is Joe Carter, and a foul out of play makes it 1-1. Out in center field after pinch running is Brett Butler. Pete Harnish pitched 1 inning, no runs, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, no walks. And Smiley is the 5th National League rookie. Pirate left-hander is 9-6 for the year. Carter has walked in his only plate appearance, and a base hit. They like that here in Toronto. And we're going to get a pinch hitter in a moment.
Carter walked his first time up, and then the inside breaking ball by John Smiley. And Joe has the 7th, make that the 8th hit for the league, and his first hit in All-Star history. His first game tonight after 9 years in the major leagues, and I'm telling you, ringing up some big numbers in the process.
Good for him. His first hit. Here is the pinch hitter. Is due up, and it's Paul Molitor of Milwaukee. They don't pinch hit for Wade Boggs very often. And with the left-hander pitching, Russa sends up Molitor. Ball 1 strike. Now 9 hits for the National League, 8 for the American, and Tony La Russa hanging on by 1 run, 7th inning. Run and bunt play, and it's 1-2.
It looked like that was a missed sign.
Right.
And you can kind of understand that as you see Scott Sanderson warming up for the American League. I mean, the third base coaches try to keep the signs as simple as possible in these games, because obviously the player's very unfamiliar with the signs, but Molitor squaring around the bunt and Carter taking off, probably a missed sign.
Late swing and a foul by Molitor, and what?
Interference on the catcher.
Interference by Biggio. So that's an error charge to the catcher. And runners at first and second, nobody out.
Got to go back in the archives and find out when the last time that happened. It's the first time we are told that that has ever happened in All-Star history. Interference by the catcher, and that to me blows my mind.
First time ever.
First time ever. 62 All-Star games, and here it is, Craig Biggio, his first start, the only catcher who's ever started for Houston.
New pitcher coming in.
Catcher's mitt before the ball thrown. It's interference on the catcher, an error on the catcher, and this is the first time it's ever happened in All-Star history. You look at Molitor looking back at Joe Brinkman, and Molitor awarded first base, an error on Craig Biggio.
And no official time at bat for Molitor. The new pitcher is Rob Dibble. No wins, no losses. 23 saves. He and Lee Smith and Dennis Eckersley lead the major leagues in saves, and this guy has been perfect coming out of the bullpen for Cincinnati. We'll see some homers here, and we saw Biggio jabbing at the ball a bit as he was warming up Dibble. Ripken is out, and we're going to have a pinch hitter for him. Now Ripken has a single and a 3-run homer, and Ozzie Guillen will bat and he might be bunting with nobody out. It's tough to bunt Dibble. American League leading 3-2, 7th inning. Let him swing. And the managers usually do in a game of this sort.
Yeah, right. There's no sense of coming to all this, unless it's an extra inning game, a game-winning situation. They didn't come here to bunt.
Game one swing, and Dibble's play has to go to first. That was a fastball to first base, too. But Samuel taking the throw. You could hear the ball smack into his glove. And this is when Cincinnati enjoys having Dibble in the game because he can strike people out.
Well, he did indeed sacrifice. So Ozzie Guillen finds shortstop for the White Sox. And he is buzzed out by Dibble. I mean, Dibble threw a seed to first base.
And we have another pinch hitter from the Texas Rangers. Rafael Palmeiro, and they're going to walk him. And they're going to make Dibble pitch with the bases loaded, 1 out. This will be the 3rd walk issued to the American League tonight. While they're doing it, let's go down to Jim Cott.
Jeff Reardon, second on the all-time list for career saves. You're used to finishing games, but you got some unusual orders when Tony La Russa came out there.
Yeah, when he came out, I was joking around, what should I do now? Because I'm not really used to coming out in the 7th inning, but I understand his move. You got to try to get all the relievers in there.
And did you go to the bench and grab your pom-poms and cheer for Rick Aguilera?
That's what he told me to, so I went there, and Rick got the big strikeout, so it was nice to see him do the job.
All right, back to Jack and Tim.
As a result of that strikeout of Eddie Murray, American League held on to the lead, and now they have a big threat going. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 7th, 3-2 American League. The runners are Joe Carter at 3rd, down at 2nd, Paul Molitor, and just given the walk, Rafael Palmeiro, and at the plate, Harold Baines. Second at bat. Oh, I got a kick out of Baines cranking it up for that fastball.
You better turn a notch up, I'll tell you.
Watch his front foot. That's ball 2.
Rob Dibble, the losing pitcher in last year's All-Star game. He gave up the 2-run double to Julio Franco in the 6th inning at Wrigley Field.
And a line drive into right, and it is caught by Felix Jose. The throw is not in time. American League increases their lead 4-2. Run charge to John Smiley, 4-2 Americans.
That was a good base running play by Joe Carter. Your inclination is to take a couple of steps toward home, but because the ball has no lift to it, you don't have much time to get back to third, and you could see Carter scamper back to third base and score rather easily.
So Dibble gives up the intentional walk, then the sacrifice fly. And he will pitch to Ruben Sierra after Carter scores. First and second, 2 out. I don't know where Felix Jose was throwing that ball. Ball 1. You're not going to throw it home. You better throw it to third. If you don't throw it to third, you better throw it to second.
I think he was trying. A lot of times when an outfielder catches the ball, you don't get a good grip on it. You try to throw it too quickly. And I think that ball obviously missed the cutoff man, Eddie Murray. But I don't think he had a good grip on the ball across seams to throw it like he can.
2 balls, no strikes to a dangerous hitter, Ruben Sierra. They're doing trading card business here during the course of the game. Kid's got a good collection. Dibble blitzed it by him.
Here's that throw by Felix Jose, the right fielder. And when an outfielder throws it this far offline, you know he didn't have the proper grip on the ball, and Carter's allowed to score easily.
4-2 American League, 7th inning. The foul makes it 2-2.
By the way, I'd like to correct that. Rob Dibble gave up the losing hit last year. He gave up the double to Franco, but the losing pitcher was Jeff Brantley of the Giants.
And as a result of that, the American League has won 3 in a row, and they're leading here in the 7th, 4-2. Two on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the strikeout ends the inning, and now the American League has left 8, but they're on top by 2.
Toronto, and not many people have left this game. 4-2, the American League on top. And I want to update you now on the results of our in-progress CBS AT&T viewer poll. The question was, do you favor the use of an instant replay as an officiating tool in sports? Here are the numbers. Baseball, 54% of you said yes. Basketball, 52%. Football, 69%. And golf, 35%. And remember, the lines will remain open on this 1-900 number throughout this broadcast and until the end of the broadcast. And fellas, if you don't have time, I'll make the call for you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Pat. You can make the call and vote against the instant replay in baseball for me. How about you, Tim?
Same.
Here we go into the 8th inning, and time running short for the National League. They're down by 2. Bonilla against Rick Aguilera. 8th inning. Popped it up. And Ozzie Guillen, the new shortstop, wants it. Puckett stays away, and there's 1 out. The new first baseman for the American League is Rafael Palmeiro. You just saw Ozzie Guillen, the happy little imp. He just made the put out. And the new third baseman was the pinch hitter, Paul Molitor. Hello, hello.
Look at that. He's peeking it.
Lo tiene.
Little snow cone there, right?
Big swing by Felix Jose. Strike 1. Felix is 0 for 1 in this game. We have good news about John Morris. Negative X-rays. John Morris has a contusion of the right foot after being struck by the batted ball by Bonilla. That led to the National League's first run. Our other run, a home run by Dawson, which should have counted for 2. He hit it so far. Felix corks it through the hole, and it'll bring up the tying run. Here's Jim Cott once again.
Well, Jack and Tim, last year, about 100 points less in the batting average, half as many home runs, but Cal Ripken with the big 3-run blow tonight. And let me see, it's about as simple as this. That was the change you made.
Just spreading out a little bit, flexing the knees, creating a little balance in the stance, letting the ball come to you.
And what's it enable you to do?
Just it enables me to wait on the ball and use your hands a little more. I was really, my body was getting in the way of my swing.
These things are old hat for you, but this is a time everybody smiles. Looks like you're having fun.
When you get a few hits and you hit a home run, it's time to smile. But we take it pretty seriously. We try to get this win here tonight, so until it's all over, we won't smile too much.
Yesterday was a lighthearted time. That was some kind of show you put on it, and you ripped all those balls. No cheapies.
No, I got into a rhythm, and I hit the balls good. Granted, it was carrying pretty good yesterday, but for the most part, I hit those very well.
Possibly the best player in all of baseball today. They say sometimes guys aren't as nice as they seem or as good as they seem. This guy is. Let's go back to the game.
And we have the tying run at the plate in the person of Paul O'Neill. Strike 1 to him. 1-1 with Felix Jose at first. 1 out. 8th inning. American League on top. 4-2. By the way, Cal Ripken, in addition to a 3-run homer, another base hit. 2 out of 3 for the evening. He's through for the night. Low to O'Neill, who for a big hitter knows that strike zone extremely well. And Lou Piniella flashing signs to the third base coach, Sam Perlaza.
Doubtful anything's on here. I mean, I think the National League has to wait back for the 2-run homer. If you're 1 run up, something may be on, but not 2 runs.
Jose, the runner, being held by Palmeiro. 1 out. Aguilera makes certain. didn't like it up in Chicago when Palmeiro was traded away. He continues to prove he's one of the best hitters in the game. He's playing first now. Oh, big swing by O'Neill. 2-2.
Now you mentioned another club, the Chicago Cubs. Let's take a look at the American League East. The Toronto Blue Jays ahead of Boston by 5.5 games. In the American League West, the Texas Rangers and the Minnesota Twins, surprisingly. And there are 5 teams in that division in the American League West, and the spread is 2.5 games. Man,
that's the way it ought to be. That's the way it is. Still 2-2 to O'Neill. Romeo popped out. Felix Jose singled. His first All-Star hit. And a foul out of play.
In the National League in the second half, what can you look for? Well, the Pittsburgh Pirates, at one time during the first half, the best team, I thought the best team in baseball. They're still a very, very good club. They're 2.5 games in front of the Mets, who have won 7 in a row, and the Cardinals are 5 games back. In the NL West, the Dodgers 5 games back, and Cincinnati in second place. The Dodgers have opened up things for Tommy Lasorda with Oral Hershiser back healthy and Tim Belcher.
Well, they have good pitching. The Dodgers have good pitching, and the Mets are getting better pitching now. 2-2. Oh, he got him. With what, Tim?
That's that splitter we told you about. Aguilera with real long fingers, and if you can, we talked about the spread on them, and that gives the downward motion on that tumbling sinker. The splitter, you can see how much that ball goes down, and usually when hitters swing and miss at that pitch, they swing over the top of it. They think it's going to be a strike, and the bottom falls out at the last minute.
The 2-out batter for the National League is Howard Johnson. Fouled out is only at bat. He could tie this game, and Aguilera works hard at keeping Felix Jose at first. 2-out, 8th inning. Johnson with a great RBI total. Look out back here. And that strike 1 to Howard. Johnson's driven in 63 runs for New York so far. And he helped them on the recent surge to get within 2.5 of the Pirates.
Leads the National League in home runs, extra base hits, and RBIs.
And hits most of his home runs left-handed. A lot of RBIs for the first half of the season. One ball, one strike. Two and one.
But 40 RBIs shy of Hank Greenberg back in 1935. Now listen to this. He had 103 RBIs at the All-Star break, Hank Greenberg, and didn't make the All-Star team. 25 home runs, 103 RBIs, and the guy who chose him, his manager, was Mickey Cochran, who was also, his manager.
And
didn't pick him. How about that? 103 RBIs at the All-Star break. Greenberg ended up that year with 170 RBIs.
Yeah, when I was chatting with Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio last night, looking at those RBI figures, 150, 160, 145. 2-2 the count with 2 out. Fouled by Johnson. He's the tying run at the plate in the 8th inning. Next year, the All-Star game will be in San Diego, another lovely city.
Roberto Alomar will tell you that. He played in San Diego, traded here to Toronto. Howard Johnson can hit that fastball away.
A little bit low. Fisk thought they had him struck out. Aguilera started to walk off the hill.
This ball right on the outside corner, and Fisk wanted it. Aguilera wanted it, but Joe Brinkman didn't call it.
Now the runner will go. Palmeiro at first, plays behind Felix Jose. 3-2, 2 out.
Splitter here.
On 3-2, runner going, and he struck him out on that splitter in the dirt. That's what Fisk wanted, and that's what they got him with. 8 left for the National League. They still trail